This boy got a super rare hidden skill called Mirror World Reversal. With it, he can turn any of his useless skills into something incredible. For example, he turned his Vine Control skill, which had a low chance of immobilizing a target, into chaotic thorns that cast thorns on enemies with a high chance to cause confusion. But before he regressed, RMC was already a legendary warrior. After countless battles that left him scarred and exhausted, the hero faces his greatest wound yet, betrayal by his best friend Luawai. In a world transformed by the sudden appearance of dungeons, the mysterious powers gained from these places are known as classes. To conquer the dungeons, people form parties. Luawai decides to eliminate his friend who has surpassed S rank, because he believes such power should belong to the royal family for the stability of the empire. With this in mind, Luawai uses explosives to kill him. But to our surprise, when Yunqi dies, his hidden skill, Mirror World, activates, transferring his soul to a mirrored realm within a lake. Decades later, a group of bullies hangs a boy upside down. The victim's cries for help reach out. Boy's soul, who hears them from the depths. A boy with glasses tries to intervene, but the leader of the bullies mocks both him and the victim, shifting blame onto the nerd and ridiculing him as well. Suddenly a dungeon manifests, causing everyone to scatter in fear. The nerdy boy, however, rushes to untie the victim, who is still bound by rope. Dungeon monsters begin to appear, threatening to. At that critical moment, the previously drowned victim awakes and unleashes his power. Glacial impact against the enemy, a type of ability that helps heal the target, but the system informs him that he can't heal someone who already has full HP. Meanwhile, the bespectacled boy is frustrated, is trying to heal a literal monster. Our protagonist checks his status bar and discovers he has taken over Yuni's frail body, inheriting its weak abilities. He remembers being a top warrior and done. After activating Mirror World, which led his soul into this mysterious realm, the cries of the drowning victim had triggered his revival in this new form. Driven by a desire for revenge, our hero resolves to make. The nerdy boy turns to Yunqi for help, but our hero is disheartened to find he has no valuable skills. The previous Yunqi was dismissed by everyone as just a chanter. Despite this, Yunqi decides to pin his hopes on the Mirror World skill. Curious about how it works, he tries to activate it, but the system tells him he doesn't meet the requirements. He attempts the skill on a goblin, but the level is too low. He then tries it on the goblin's weapon, but receives the same result. Suddenly, a level 10 malformed overlord appeared, and a horde of monsters follows close behind. The boy with glasses fears the worst, convinced they're doomed, while our boy still struggles to master the Mirror World skill. At last, Yunqi tries activating it on one of his own seemingly useless abilities. To his amazement, he successfully reverses entangling vines into chaotic thorns, causing confusion among the monsters who start attacking each other. The malformed overlord is taken out by another monster. Finally, our protagonist realizes that even his most useless skill can become powerful when reversed. Energized by this discovery, Yunqi looks forward to transforming his other abilities as well. Yuncho is amazed by the true power of the Mirror World's S rank hidden skill. Rather than simply reversing a skill, it actually enhances the ability overall. Our boy observes that in its original form, his skill would have a low success rate and last only 1 second. Now he's eager to see what happens when he reverses his other abilities. He tries it with Empowered Strike, transforming it into Trick Blade, which now boasts a 10% boost in both attack power and duration. With Mirror World, our hero discovers he can amplify the attack power of any skill. As the monsters continue to fall into confusion and defeat each other, he gains a flood of experience points and quickly levels up. Each level up fully restores his MP, giving him more opportunities to experiment. Taking advantage of the chaos, he tests Trick Blade on the still confused monsters. Our protagonist repeatedly uses Mirror World on his skills until his MP drops to 12. Eventually his Trick Blade achieves a 120% increase in attack power and lasts for 44 seconds. When a giant monster charges at Yunqi, he meets it head-on and strikes it with his enhanced ability. Meanwhile, the nerdy boy is left speechless, watching our hero, a mere chanter, battle so many monsters with ease. With Trick Blade, Yunqi delivers blows that are 2.3 times stronger than before. Suddenly, the dungeon the ruler emerges from the ground, towering at level 21. Yet our protagonist stands his ground, attacking the dungeon the ruler with chaotic thorns. Unfortunately, the ruler proves immune to that skill, and counters with its massive claws. In a moment of bravery, the nerdy boy steps in to shield him. Seeing this, Yunqi is reminded of an old companion from his past life who always acted the same way. Shield, however, doesn't hold for long and the nerd is sent flying. Instantly, our boy rushes over to heal him and urges the nerdy guy to use a health potion, formulating a quick strategy. Our hero instructs KOJ to wait. With only 8 seconds left on Trick Blade, Yunqi cuts down more monsters, gaining additional levels and restoring his HP and MP. He reactivates Trick Blade, continues his rampage, and levels up until he finally feels ready to face the dungeon lore. Upon reaching level 12, Trick Blade now has an astonishing 510% increase in attack power. Starting in from different angles, Yunqi unleashes a relentless assault and ultimately defeats the dungeon the ruler. Chowder can hardly believe his eyes, stunned to witness a chanter at level 5 bring down a dungeon the ruler. With the ruler defeat, the dungeon is cleared. As Yunqi gathers the dropped loot, KOG still in disbelief. asks how he became so powerful so quickly. In response, our hero inquires if he is related to Chalban Ben. Kautri is shocked that Yuncha knows his great-grandfather's nickname. Yuncho is taken aback to learn that Zhaoju is actually the grandson of Ben Ben. As far as he remembers, however, Luo Wei had eliminated everyone connected to him. Our hero tries to press for more information, but Zhaoji, growing frustrated, refuses to answer any further question. Since Yunkai isn't being forthcoming either, Chowder then asks why our protagonist has hidden his powers all this time, but quickly shifts the conversation, suggesting they return to school and mentioning an upcoming visit to the Memorial Hall. Sensing suspicion, our boy decides it's best to keep his identity concealed for now. The mention of the Memorial Hall intrigues him. It seems like the perfect opportunity to find out what transpired after his death and his previous life. While riding inside a rail bus, Yun Kai observes that transportation now runs on products derived from dungeons. He is amazed to see so many items from the dungeons being used in everyday life. Things he once believed could never exist outside those dangerous realms. Curious, he summons a chimera bone ring from his inventory, and recalls how, in the past, leftover dungeon items would vanish along with the dungeon itself. Clearly, things have changed. At the Memorial Hall, Yunki comes face to face with a statue of Luo, now celebrated as the hero who ended the dungeon disaster years ago. History records that numerous dungeons appeared at once, including a formidable SSS-ranked dungeon that caused daily suffering for civilians. Luo Wei, leading an army, conquered these dungeons, while his close friend Luo Qi was branded a traitor. Our protagonist sees it the injustice, remembering that his army was the one responsible for clearing the SS-ranked dungeon, yet he remains maligned by history. Meanwhile, the school teacher recounts Luo Wei's hardships in battle, adding that with the help of the famed hero Ding Kun, Luo Wei was able to suppress the rebellion. Yet Yun Shu has no memory of anyone named Ding Kun. As this unfolds, the leader of the bullies, Ding Zhu, appears, surprised to see both KOG and our boy alive. His friend quickly speculates that an expert must have been nearby to clear the dungeon. Students gather around Ding Shu, eager to learn about the new dungeon. Ding Shu, however, blames Ko Zhu for dragging them into trouble. Childry protests. Ding Shui puts him in his place by drawing attention to a statue of Kon, nicknamed Ben Ben, being stepped on by hero Ding Kun, his own ancestor. Suddenly, Ding Shu angrily yells at Ko Zhu, accusing him of insulting his ancestor. While other students start gossiping about the traitor Chowen, the school teacher steps in, instructing Ko Zhu to apologize and reminding him that the hero's family once spared his own. He makes it clear that no one is willing to help a descendant of a traitor. Just as Ding Shu is about to escalate things further, our protagonist steps in and kicks Ding Shu down, protecting Zhao Ju before any harm can come to him. All the students begin whispering among themselves that a mere level 5 chanter just knocked down Ding Shu and insulted the hero's family. Incensed, Ding Zhu calls Yun Qi a punching bag and rallies his group to gang up on him. Our boy, however, easily dispatches every one of them with precise punches, including Ding Shu himself. The hero's descendant is left speechless after being taken down so easily. While the other students start gossiping again, now convinced that Ding Shu must be weak. Furious, Ding Shu activates his ability Rage and summons his fire-forged hammer. Yet, our protagonist spots an opening and slams him to the floor with a single well-timed blow. The students are left in stunned silence as the Memorial Hall guard arrives, reminding everyone that fighting is strictly prohibited. The teacher, clearly displeased, scolds our boy for his shamelessness and summons a weapon in an attempt to restore order. Calmly, Yunqi breaks the weapon using his chimera bone ring and challenges the teacher to handle things fairly, suggesting he's biased toward Ding Shu's family. Displaying the power of his ring, our hero forces the teacher to agree to investigate the incident properly. Internally, Yunshai notes that the ring is just a drop from a level 21 the ruler, yet it's powerful enough to take on a level 32 teacher. As a consequence, the teacher excuses both Yun Qi and Koji from the Memorial Hall. Inside, the teacher calls for a healer to tentating Shu. Once outside, our protagonist reflects that, after his own fall, none of his people survived, and Ben Ben was eventually eliminated by Ding Kun. Curious, he asks Koji to share the story of the so-called hero Ding Kun. Chowdhury explains that Ding Kun discovered the traitor Yun Qi's plans and led an army near the SS-ranked dungeon, helping to quell the rebellion. Our hero remembers that there was indeed an ambush in the dungeon meant to wipe out his people. Chowdhury continues, saying Ding Kun was promoted by the king and became a celebrated figure, fighting for years to protect the world from disasters like the Great Cataclysm of Winterland. Yet our protagonist distinctly recalls that he, not Ding Kun, resolved the Winterland crisis. Still, he's curious about Ding Kun's weapon. Kyoja tells him about the flowing cloud sword, the blade supposedly used by Ding Kun to execute the villain Yun Qi. That revelation infuriates our boy even more. Not only were his achievements stolen, but even his sword became part of someone else's legend. Now, with determination burning within him, Yun Shui resolves to bring down Ding Kun himself. Outside the Ding family compound, guards patrol the ground, and they simply ignore them and move on. Zhao Jian nervously suggests they should turn back, troubled by the number of guards on duty.